Yeah, that was
the first ever College of Science, College of Education talent show. Thank you so much for coming. We're looking forward to a great show this evening. I am Nalini Nadkarni. I'm a professor of biology and the director of the Center for Science and Math Education.
And I'm Denise Deering, a professor of biology and associate dean in the College of Science.
And we're looking forward to a great show. The reason that we put this wonderful show together is one of our efforts to bring together faculty, staff, and students in the College of Science with faculty, staff, and students and families in the College of Education. And in our worlds, we very often get embroiled in our work in our labs, in the classrooms, and our own hallways. And so we thought that this might be an opportunity to open up those doors, to walk down each other's hallways, and to expose ourselves as who we are, which are human beings who love to do both science and education. We have 13 acts tonight. They range from very short to very long. They include music, drama, comedy, dance. And without further ado,
I'll introduce our first act. It's Jason Chen. He'll be playing the violin. He's a second-year undergraduate, double majoring in biology and Spanish with a music minor. He's been playing violin since he was 5 years old. He recently joined from Scholars Lab in the biology department. He's originally from Buffalo, New York, so let's give him a warm welcome.
Violin tonight. This is Yamaha SV200, which, let's see, I didn't start playing electric violin until in high school because I thought that, I saw a YouTube video of someone playing electric violin and that was really cool. So, yeah. So I'm going to be playing 2 songs for you guys tonight. I guess you could if I had a theme, you could probably say it's like 70s night or something. But the first song I'm going to be playing is one of my personal favorites. I hope you guys like it too. It's Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. And special thanks to Adam McGrath, who actually wrote or transcribed this. So yeah, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Too loud?
just fine.
Martinez. And let me tell you a little bit about the dance. So you're going to see the viral GAG proteins, the cellular escort proteins, and the BPS4 enzyme form a new virus at the cellular membrane. The boys are the escort proteins and the BPS4 enzyme, and the girls are the GAG proteins that attach to the cellular membrane. So, take it away.
Our fabric is our cellular membrane. Trina would like to say thank you to a couple people and we'll get started.
We would like to thank Savis Michael for teaching us the science, Ms. Cody for teaching us dance, and Ms. Kristen for teaching us drumming. Please enjoy for
They've been working with them too.
Sophie's and Michael.
Michael, raise
Yes,
your hand.
Michael. And all our modern dance students, Donna, Juan Carlos, all you guys.
Well, we just heard and saw from the younger end of the spectrum, and now we get to have a performance by someone who's on the more emeritus side of things, not quite emeritus, but having much experience. And this is Frank Harris, who will be performing piano for us. He's going to be playing some original ragtime music. Frank develops mathematical and computational methods for the study of electronic structures of atoms, molecules, and condensed matter. He recently completed the graduate text Mathematical Methods for Physicists, and it's now in its 7th edition. He stated that, "I am probably the oldest in chronological age faculty member in our physics department and have no retirement plan."
first-year graduate student in math and studying linear algebra teaching. And he's going to play what?
The piece I'm going to play is written by the famous Russian composer Mikhail Glinka, and it was originally a song, and later it was adapted to a piano piece by a Russian pianist. So it's one of my favorite pieces, so I hope you enjoy it.
Just the first one?
Yeah, this is the first one.
I apologize for the staff.
Turn off the light.
You better stop it now.
Georgia,
Yes.
you ready to go?
Yeah.
Introduce Georgia. Georgia is a PhD candidate in the Department of Biology. She does research on mutualistic associations in a rainforest in central Amazonia, with a great interest in the link between plants and ants. She was born in Fortaleza in the southeast portion of Brazil. And in addition to Georgia's work on this, Mark Nielsen was also a participant in this film. He's a professor in the Department of Biology and has taught 22,000 students over the past 26 years. He loves to teach and is always looking at ways to implement technology into education. Is Mark here?
No.
He's not. Okay, so they are showing a movie whose title is The Astonishing Ant-Man, an interview with Jack Longino that was produced during the science filmmaking course in 2011.
My name is Jack Longino, and I am one of the world experts on how to identify ants. And in particular, the ants of the New World tropics, Central America and South America. I was born in Florida, and I grew up as a standard kind of Florida kid, going to standard Florida schools. But for some reason, and I don't really know why, I got interested in insects. I just always loved all those things that bother people in Florida. I love. Diversity. And then in college, I was sort of introduced to the science and ecology. And that led me to these, it was kind of a revelation that people were interested in these questions that seem obvious until you actually think about it. Like, how do you explain why the cool insects are in tropics instead of here? And one thing led to another, and I went to graduate school where there were people working on tropical insects, with the ecology of tropical insects. So I started these ecological studies, but then I also still had this high school love of collecting and identifying things, and just the diversity of insects. And I started doing all my work in Costa Rica, actually. And so I learned Spanish, and get to where I could work in Costa Rica, and I just fell in love with rainforest and being in rainforest and studying the insects there. And I met another tropical biologist there, and she was doing following her passion and interest in tropical forests. We got married, and for the two of us have just continued on this career of studying tropical biology, me being an ant expert and her being a tree expert. I also discovered there was a world of people whose main job was to understand not only how many species were in a place, but what they actually were. And it was called taxonomy. In terms of new species of ants that I've named, about 70 species so far. The big challenge is that you have to know what's already named. It's almost never kind of, you pick something up and go, aha, a new species. But then what's fun is every now and then you like to name a species in honor of someone. And that doesn't tell you anything about the species itself, but it's often done. And I've named ants after my wife and her 2 children, so we're now a family where all family members have an ant named after them. I've developed this sense that it's kind of urgently important right now to have a really detailed, what I call a biodiversity map. We all know how useful maps are. And we don't have a very good map of the biodiversity of the planet right now. And I want to make that map for everything. And I want to use all the tools and modern technology, images and databases on the web, and everything we can to make this map of all the diversity of life on the planet. So I'm a big fan of museum collections of specimens, because they are, they're things that no image, no bit of DNA sequencing can replace. Is the complexity of a real physical specimen that is a record of an incredibly complex process that generated that particular combination of characteristics of that individual at this place and time. And so these collections are themselves a map. They're a big physical map of the biodiversity of the planet. The Encyclopedia of Life, it's a website whose goal is to have a web page for every species on Earth. And that's an enormous task. And so part of it is trying to create this software infrastructure, the web-based infrastructure, to let the concept grow through thousands and thousands of independent contributions, like Wikipedia. What's really lacking now is the content. How do you populate this thing with content? And that's, no amount of software tweaking is going to fix that. What's going to fix that is a generation of kids who grow up like me and decide if they're going to become the world expert on X. So that they are the ones that know everything there is to know about some particular part of the world's biota and can go in because they have that detailed knowledge. They can populate information on those Encyclopedia of Life web pages. And it's there forever.
just want to let you know that Georgia and Mark were part of the science filmmaking class. It was an intensive 3-day class that was taught by a pair of filmmakers from National Geographic. And we offered this, the Center for Science and Math Education offered this to 13 scientists and mathematicians last year. We are now planning another workshop like that, so if you're interested in making cool films like this about science or whatever, we invite you to come and talk to Jamie about this coming October?
October 4th through the 8th, so it's going to be around fall break.
So thanks, Georgia and Mark, for that. And our next act is actually Dr. Jack Longino, who will be demonstrating that he's not only the colorful Ant-Man, but he's also a musician.
My talent, so I can make sound come out of a juice jar. My most appreciative audience was in a cave in the cockpit country of Jamaica, near Quickstep. Melanie will remember that.
Are you ready?
I'm looking for Maruru music.
There's somebody outside practicing.
There?
Checked with them. I don't know who they
Take a picture. I mean, if you want to get up, get something to eat, change chairs around, socialize with other people, you can certainly do that. We just have, I think, 3 more acts after this one. Are they ready or should we do
They're on their way in if you want to start something else.
Okay.
I can play something else.
Yeah. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance, but if we have time for that, we can do that. Sabis, are you folks here yet?
Yeah, we are all
walking
here.
Are you
in.
ready? Why don't you take it away?
Okay.
We should go?
Yes.
Yeah.
We should go, okay. We should go. Everybody's here.
We're going to do a Polynesian song, and there's quite a group of people.
But not Sabis. Sabis is
Are we?
So,
We're coming in right now.
should we come or should we?
Safara? Safarian?
So are we going?
Sabis.
Sabis okay, is going to
we
go
are.
next. And then we'll have the Polynesian group next.
That's right.
Sabis is teaching an interdisciplinary theater physics class. His students have created a short play about ethical issues surrounding
So I just wanted to introduce Sydney. This is a course that we put together, and Sydney has been really a big driver of the course. And it's about, the course is studying all the plays that have been written about science. We have studied
not all of them. There were lots.
Yeah.
But
Studied Arcadia,
Copenhagen,
J.P. Oppenheimer, Copenhagen, and the students were working on a project to basically put an idea of science into a theater piece. And what you see here is the first incarnation of the project.
yeah, a lot of the plays that we've been reading this semester and talking about have explore a number of ethical issues surrounding science, because that's often where a lot of the drama lies, besides in the discoveries. And so these, when they started thinking about what they wanted to create a piece about, I think the ethics came to the surface. And we have a variety of students from theater backgrounds as well as science backgrounds. Kita is a theater studies major. Alicia is a biology major, is that right? Vincent is a med lab sciences major. Clint is a theater studies major. Also anthropology, sorry, double major, right on. And then we're missing one other student who's a theater studies student, or no, excuse me, he's in the actor training program. And we're hoping to do this course again sometime in the future with more students. Lots more. It's a really interesting collaboration.
I've had a lot of fun. So I will be reading instead of one of our students, Michael, who is actually in a show.
Yes, he's in a show down at Pioneer, so.
I'll be replacing him for
Yes. Oh, yes, yes, forgive me. So anyway, this is not the complete play. This is an excerpt from the play. As Saviz mentioned, this is a first incarnation. You're the first audience, so it's very exciting. And I'll just be reading the opening stage directions, and then they will be taking it away. So, lights up on a poker table. J. Robert Oppenheimer, Rosalind Franklin, Charles Darwin, Dr. Walter Grove, and Dr. Catherine Kommelmann sit playing poker. They are discussing Dr. Catherine Kommelmann's current project of cloning individuals that have been selected due to their contributions to society. Oh, and maybe we should, this is Darwin, this is Dr. Catherine Kommelmann, this is Dr. Walter Grove, this is Rosalind Franklin, and this is J. Robert Oppenheimer.
I'm interested in the details of the experiment.
Well, in this first phase, we're cloning multiple individuals, but at this point, we're only making one clone from the original. For the gestation process, we were using women that are in comas to bring the fetuses to full term. The clones will be raised in pre-selected environments that will best suit their development.
Is it safe?
What do you mean?
Is the procedure safe?
The incubators are monitored by doctors 24 hours a day. They are comatose, but don't feel any of the pain of being pregnant or giving birth. We've seen 0 complications so far.
So these incubators, they're women?
Yes. However, as I said, they're in comas and won't feel or remember anything. And yes, Robert, it is completely safe for them.
When I said, is it safe, I mean for the child. Is it safe for the child?
The child?
The clone. Do you expect complications in childbirth?
Well, there's a possibility. I suppose that there could be negative outcomes physically or mentally, but that is true with any child.
But the chances are greater in a clone child. Huh?
Well, yes, I suppose. I mean, we aren't sure yet, of course. This is only the first.
Wouldn't it be better than for the child, I mean, not to be born at all?
We plan to abort any fetus that has any foreseen complications.
And what about those with unforeseen?
Babies with complications are born every day. How is this any different?
The difference is that you're creating them. You're putting these children at risk. Do they not have the right to a happy and healthy life?
We don't expect any unforeseen complications.
Relax, Robert. This ability to create life, idealistic beings, with nothing more than a simple sample and a lab. Doctor, what you have done is incredible. It's really a feat, and offers a beneficial impact that will affect the world for centuries. You've completely removed the uncertainty for genetic error.
Though I don't completely agree, it brings up another good point. How will this affect natural selection? Essentially, you'll be throwing in a completely different variable. You'll be cloning people, as you say, based on their contributions. However, you've selected these people after they have lived an entire life. The amount of mutations within their genome will be unfathomable. If these clones reproduce, have you thought about the repercussions? What kind of mutations will be passed on? This could result in the life expectancy of the population diminishing dramatically.
Yes, there are many different scenarios that we are unsure of the outcome. That's what we're studying in phase 1 of this project. We will examine all genetic manipulations and any possible negative effects that would outweigh the benefits to society.
How are you handling the religious backlash from your project?
I'm sorry?
Well, you are experiencing pressure from religious leaders and groups, aren't you? I would expect these people are not quite happy with the project.
Well, there's always been tension between religion and science, hasn't there?
Of course, but a project of this magnitude, I expect it makes my religious troubles pale in comparison.
Well, I try not to pay attention to it.
No?
I don't consider myself a religious person. I don't know that I would know how to answer their questions.
What question?
Well, isn't it obvious?
Not necessarily.
Well, think of it from a religious perspective. The questions are endless. Who is this child? Was he created by God?
One could argue that everything is created by God.
Then does the child have a soul? Is he a child of God in the way that we are? Religious leaders could argue that because the child is simply a copy, well, they could argue that he isn't a child at all, not in the human sense. If he is created by man, he could be seen as a machine without a soul. And if this is the case, does the child deserve the rights that you and I share? Is this child less than human?
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, I see what you mean. What religious questions have you been asked?
Is the child a creation of God? Does he have a soul? But no one is suggesting that the clones will be less than human.
Yes.
I see it as only a matter of time.
These are clones of some of the greatest minds in our history. They will live lives of luxury and comfort. They will be looked upon as miracles, not as soulless machines.
Exactly, leading us one step closer to the ideal society.
Your ideal society is far different from.
You simply don't understand my perspective.
I don't know that I will ever see your perspective, Grove.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, you and I have never met, but your work has given mine a new life. I'm Dr. Walter Grove, the first head of the Nazi Party's Office of Racial Policy. It is a pleasure to meet someone who understands and is continuing my work.
How exactly am I continuing your work?
Essentially, you and I are both eugenicists.
Eugenics? Eugenics is a malicious attack on humanity.
It is simply the practice of improving the genetic strength and desirability of a population. The only difference that exists between you and I is that you practice eugenics by means of creation. I practice eugenics by
destruction.
Our end goals make us quite similar.
All right, well next we have the Center for Science and Math Education performing a sing-along.
Good job. I need all of the members of the Center for Science and Math Education here, including what might be termed peripheral members, who are very important, whose initials are MB, if they would like to join us. But we are passing out sing-along speeds. This is the, I think, the only participatory act that we have here. So if the center folks could come up. And we also need volunteers. We need an undergraduate student.
You get to do it.
Are there any undergraduates who can come up?
Sure.
Ladies here. We need some faculty scientists. Don Wiener has volunteered to come up.
Oh, that's your
And then we need a teacher. We need a teacher. Are there no teachers in this room? Are there teachers of teachers? Yikes. Is there anyone who does both research and teaching? All right, so Shanti's going to be our teacher. So could the CSMA people come over here? I want to say, that's fine. If you can't carry a tune, that's fine. I want to use this opportunity to basically introduce the Center for Science and Math Education to this wonderful group of both science people and education people, because the Center of Science and Math Education really falls between the two. So unfortunately, a number of our faculty and staff couldn't make it, so I just want to recognize Hugo Rossi, who is the first director of this center, who can't be here today. We also have Holly Godsey, who does a lot of teaching in formal science education. And could you guys introduce yourselves?
Oh, I'm Maggie Cummings. I do a lot of math education. And I'm Emily Gates, and I work in informal science education.
So the song that you have, does everybody have the handout? And book on, great. So what we're going to do is sing the song because it is an expression in song form of what the center does. I'm sure all of you know the tune, which is The House of the Rising Sun.
You have to sing, because I can't. There's a lot of safety in numbers.
Okay, I'll give a little instrumental first. This is the first time I've ever played for anybody other than myself and my family.
We're all setting all the comfort zones today.
Teacher. I have a teacher.
Everybody sing.
be here. Come on up. We have a couple of graduate students and their friends and family that are going to play a Polynesian song that I won't even attempt to say the name of, and you'll tell why when you hear it. But we have Tommy Tia, who is French Polynesian and in the Department of Chemistry. He's studying epigenetic regulation and cancer. Seung Oh Yang from South Korea, also in the Department of Chemistry. Can you raise your hand?
I'm Tommy.
And Seung. And let's see, they have their uncle and aunt of Tommy, so Nephi and Leonie, right here. And Matthew, Tiva, Taya, Tony. Would you like to say the name of your song?
Papa Tere Tere.
Thank you.
You care to pronounce that?
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right.
Alright, so test all of them, see if they work.
Test, test.
와베게요 제랑이 기루나기 도구 가인가 호로호로 단말이 기루나기 대 기린가 Wakiteya tembarangia takukahaya itie wabeke koterangi kirunga hitokukainga horo tamariki kirunga kite piringa
Just as we are waiting for the setup here, I wanted to remind you that there's a donation box on the table back there. If you care to make donations, the money will go to a student intern at the Center for Science and Math Education. There'll also be a drawing afterwards for prizes for people who participated in the performances. And we hope that this will be an incentive, not just the prizes, but just the fun of being together and seeing reveal these remarkable talents that the people who are walking around our own hallways really have. And I know that there are talents residing in all of you. So next year we're going to be doing the same thing and hopefully bringing some more of you onto stage as well. And just to conclude also, I'd like to thank the Alumni House for providing a place for us to do this in just a beautiful, informal setting. And I want to especially thank the staff here, particularly Jamie Bowen and Emily Gaines. I think they were here for helping us put all of this together. So thanks a lot.
Is it off?
that on? That mic, the big mic?
Which mic? Do you have a mic going into?
Are you gonna pass out your shouldn't have? Where are they? You need your groupies to help you.
This is our travel agent here.
Test it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Hello, everybody. All right. So, welcome, and we are the last act this evening, and we would very much like to thank all of our opening acts for making us look so bad. So, by the way, if you haven't given the $5, please give it now, because, and if you have given the $5, you can't get any of your money back, isn't that right? So I would like to introduce our band members, two of whom are truly professional musicians and who you'll want to pay close attention to. On my right here is, hey, Dean Slowhand Sakowski. This guy can play, I'm telling you. Over here on the far left over here is Clifton Loose Lips Sanders. And this is Jamie. There hasn't been an instrument invented that I can't play, Rinkin. And I'm Mike Baseman Hardman. So tonight we want you to, first of all, we're going to have you all, you have to play along now, okay? Stand up. Because the song we're going to play is not, it's illegal to be sitting when this song is played.
And the real name of this band is We Don't Need No Stinking Drummer.
That's true. I suppose you notice that we don't have a drummer. First of all, they're too expensive. And second of all, you see these little amps back here? The drummer would drown us out, so we don't have a drummer. But okay, did you pass out all the words? All right, so this is definitely a sing-along. And ready to go? Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, good night, everybody. We're going to do a song anyway. Luke has been practicing and he's ready to go here. We only had time to practice one song, so this one's going to be really interesting.
Up in the morning and out to school, the teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and practical math. You're studying hard and hoping to pass. Working your fingers right down to the bone, and the guy behind you won't leave you alone. Ring, ring goes the bell. The cook in the lunchroom is ready to smell. You're lucky if you can find a seat. You're fortunate if you have time to eat. Back in the classroom, open your books. You got the teacher, don't know how mean she looks. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Deliver me from the days of old. Long live rock and roll. The beat of the drums loud and bold. Rock, rock, rock and roll. The feeling is there, body and soul. Everybody. Hail, hail, rock and roll. 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 One more time. Hail, hail, rock and roll. 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 Hail, hail, rock and roll.
Okay, so this will be the recessional as you leave. We're going to do a little blues. is our next gig. It's some science and math center at where are we going? Grand Junction. Thanks.
Do you have a drawing if people are interested in witnessing that? Roxana, you want to bring up the bucket? Yep. Okay, for one prize, Jenny, what's the prize?
And if you want autographs, I highly recommend getting Georgia. So autographs.
Oh,
You want
you
her-
want to get your choice? First choice?
No, I just pull out whatever.
Oh, okay.
So let me say on the first one.
Okay.
Okay, we have a women's t-shirt since she's like a lady. So you want a woman's? This nice Utah hat.
All right, and the winner is the House of the Rising Sun undergraduate person. Is Blake still here? Does anybody know Blake?
Blake, yeah, he's in my group.
Okay, can you give him his prize?
Yeah.
Great.
All right, our next prize is a lovely finger from University of Utah for basketball and a $5 gift card to the bookstore. You buy yourself something real nice.
Chris, is Chris still here? Chris, Benny, all right.
Next up is we have this nice Utah polo. Hopefully you pick a guy.
Frank. Wonderful ragtime players. He's
Frank's
here. Does anybody know Frank or know where his office is? Or we get
Frank Harris? Yeah.
The last one is this lovely University of Utah headband for basketball. Or for exercising. I know, don't get too excited.
This is so perfect because it's for Heartland dancer Kelby McIntyre. And you did that to Kelby?
Yeah.
I think she's already left. Great. Thanks again for coming.